Alright, so how to not get drugged and robbed in Medellín, Colombia while going out and dating safely. Who am I to make this video? I've been visiting and living in Medellín, Colombia for over 10 years now, as of the time of filming this. So 10 years, most of that time I was dating girls, and I never had a problem. I never once had a bad scenario or robbed or drugged. So if you have the attention span of a goldfish and you want the quick summary, these are my golden rules of what not to do. No drugs, no prostitutes, no parqueyeras in Provenza area, and no Tinder. Okay, if you do those 4 things, you're reducing 98% of the possibility of getting drugged and robbed. Okay, once again, no drugs, no prostitutes, no parqueyeras in Provenza, and no Tinder. Okay, so what do you do? First, I'm gonna go into 2 sort of divisions of potential gringos of why you're here and the type of trip you're on. Type 1 is here for a week or 2 vacation of partying, fiesta, and banging as many girls as possible. If you are in this category, you are in a high-risk group, no matter what, by default. If you're gonna be drinking, if you're gonna be partying, if you're gonna be meeting random girls from Tinder, trying to pull them back to your apartment the first night for sex, you are in a high-risk category. So you have to do this stupid behavior as cautious and intelligent as you can. I can't give you any specific advice on that because there's just no way to safely manage it in a low-risk manner. If you're in the second group, this is what I would call digital nomads, or people who are living here for 1 month or more. If this is you, this is who all this next information will be for. Okay, so I'm gonna break down all the things of what not to do by reversing them into how you do them, okay? So, well, no drugs, no prostitutes. This is obvious, just don't do high-risk behavior. No parqueyeras in Provenza. You can do nightlife in these areas. If you're here for a while, go out with friends, be safe. What you should not be doing is trying to meet women when you go to these locations. You should be meeting women in your everyday life. It's called day game, daytime attraction, whatever you want to call it. Colombia is not like USA. If you have not been here and you're used to dating in USA, it's pretty hard or challenging to go to just the mall and see a tremendous amount of gorgeous women and actually meet them and get dates, right? In Colombia, this is very doable for a normal, cool dude. If you're a complete nerd with no game and you have no chance of getting laid in the United States, Colombia will not be a magic pill solution for you that you'll come here and start getting laid like a rock star. However, it is a better dating experience with better women and less challenging than the United States. So whatever you're used to in US, your game and your experience will be up a notch or 2 here. And so what I would say is you should be meeting women in the everyday life. You should just walk around, go to cafes, parks. There's a lot of really nice, really big shopping malls in Colombia, in Medellín. So you could, especially on weekends or just any day of the week, go and just start flirting with girls, give them a compliment, start talking to them, ask for their WhatsApp or their Instagram. It's not complicated here. I see a lot of guys overthinking it. Tons of questions, tons of specific. You don't need game here. Just show the intention that you like them, escalate things along, get their number or their WhatsApp, and invite them out. All right, so like I said, over 10 years I've been visiting here. The majority of the time I was single, dating many women, and I've never had a problem. This is what I personally did for many years, and it worked very well to filter out all the red flags and the problems. Here's what I do. I follow my date plan. So I have a date routine, a date plan, and I just execute that, and women either comply with it and follow my lead and go with my routine, or they do not and they exclude themselves and I eliminate them. Something was not, you know, up to my standard of what I want. So here's what I do. For an example, I'm gonna stay in Laureles. I know this area extremely well. Maybe I know some spots in Poblado that I like really well, right? And so I'm gonna do a date plan. My routine will be the first date. Let's meet at a mall. Let's get a coffee, walk around and talk a little bit. Simple. Spending a couple of dollars to get to know someone. If the girl is authentically interested in you, she'll have no problem doing this. If she says no, let's go out to a fancy dinner. No, come to my neighborhood. I want to show you my area, Robledo, or anything like that. It's immediate excluded from your plans. Eliminate them. If there's absolutely no legitimate reason why a girl who's interested in you can't come to your area to meet you at a mall and walk around. Second date, I'm gonna do something near my apartment. Take them to grab some quick, simple food, nothing extravagant, or you know, do something. I don't go out and drink and party, but maybe if you want to do that, meet at a place that you know very well, near your apartment, and then after, you know, dancing with them, drinking with them, walk them back to your apartment, if that's your, you know, plan. Don't try that on the first date. Higher risk. First date is sort of like an interview. You're trying to see if there's any bad vibes or red flags or things that they're saying that are inconsistent or just signs that you get a vibe that you should skip this girl, right? So the first date is to filter out people by your gut instinct, all right? The second date, you could proceed as, you know, what you want to do. And so this is an example. So you want to follow your date routine, which means you will only be doing dates that are on your terms 100%. If they want to vary from that, tell them to fuck off. Tell them go away. So here's an example. You're texting with a girl from Tinder or that you met at the mall, and you're texting her, you're saying, hey, I want to hang out. Come to Laureles, let's go to the mall, we'll walk around and we'll get a coffee. And she goes, no, I really want to show you, you know, my neighborhood, this or that. You just say, don't worry, I'll order you the Uber, you come to the mall, we'll walk around, I'll pay for your Uber to come, to go home, and I'll pay for anything that we do. And you know that you're going to do something cheap. You're not doing something super expensive or extravagant. And so this is a, you know, $3 or $4 trip twice, plus $4 or $5 with them. This is like less than a $15 date. It doesn't get any more financially efficient and easy than this. So if they don't comply with this, you just say no. Whatever their reason is, whatever their story is, you just say, okay, maybe we'll try it again another time. When you could do it, let me know, right? And so by this, you cut out 98% of the scammers who are trying to get you into their funnel to do what they want to do. So how do you identify some red flag, high-risk women? There's some signs that they give off that are very obvious to me after being here for so long. Number one is the very low bottom, like I said, super poor class. These are some very common things. Number one, there's always what I call a story, okay? You better get to know these because you'll hear them often. If you're using Tinder, you'll probably hear some variation of this every day out of all the girls you're talking to. So the story goes like this. There's a problem, and the solution is you sending me money. That's the summary, but it's, I have a sick uncle, he's in the hospital, there's a bill, can you possibly help me out and lend me some money, I'll pay you back. The rent is due, I recently lost my job, can you just send me a little bit of money, I'll pay you back. I really appreciate it, it'll really help me out. It's just that this is a one-time thing, it usually never happens, I feel awkward asking, can you send me some money, right? There's always a setup, it's like a joke, a setup and a punchline. The setup is there's a problem, the punchline is it requires you to send me money and I'll pay you back. Sometimes they don't even say I'll pay you back, but this is the story. As a gringo dating in Colombia, like I said, 30% of the people are probably in this category that you might be hearing these things. So if you are hearing a story from a girl that you have not met physically, this is a major red flag. Immediately delete her number, block her, and never talk to her again. She's absolutely not on your level and never will be, and don't try to, you know, negotiate or convert this person into, you know, normal. They're just broken and they're going to infect you with their, you know, negativity. So avoid stories. Immediate disqualification. The second thing is that most people in Colombia can write Spanish to you and type it to you in a readable way that Google Translate can translate. The very poor people tend to be not able to type. And what this manifests as is the word K, which is a very common connector word, Q-U-E, they just put the letter Q. And there'll be other things like that, all right? And so maybe I'll put a description and I'll give some specific examples, but it's like broken Spanish that they can't even type Spanish. When you put it into Google Translate, it doesn't work. If someone can't even type normal Spanish to you, they're probably from the, you know, lower, you know, economic level, and they're probably not a good fit for you anyway. And so these are my two big red flags. I just see these things and I immediately eliminate the person and I move on to someone else, right? Whereas in comparison, so why am I so harsh and brutal with this? I'm quick to disqualify and I'm slow to trust. And so why am I that? Because as I said, 30% is say this higher risk. That means 70%. The majority of the people here are low risk and perfectly fine. So there's more than an abundance of beautiful women that fit this criteria that I'm looking for, that I need to brutally and harshly, quickly disqualify these ones that have any sort of red flag. And it's perfectly fine. I don't care how hot she is. I don't care how good looking she is. I don't care, got of course a guy on a moped with a muffler. I don't care how easy it looks that she says she really likes me, she wants to come over and see me. Eliminate immediately. All right, so now continuing with the red flags here. If it's too good to be true, it probably is, all right? So, if you are a 35-year-old guy and you're average looking and a girl is a 19-year-old smoking hot girl who's super interested in meeting you and wants to come over and see your apartment as soon as possible, Any one of those factors, it's perfectly plausible in Colombia, but all 4 or 5 of those factors, it's a little bit too good to be true, and it's highly suspicious to me, right? So you can get a really hot, really young girl, but it should be, they're not super interested. They should be pretty, challenging to make plans with. They're gonna be very flaky. If it's too easy, it's a red flag for me, right? So if it's too good to be true, too hot, too easy, too into me, something's wrong. The other red flag is if they're inviting you to their neighborhood, especially in a first or second or third date, when they live in the Hood or Robledo or Bello or Manrique, any of these areas. If you're in Laureles and Poblado, there is absolutely no reason to make plans with someone outside of your zone. All of the best stuff to do is in Laureles and Poblado. There's really no reason for her to want to not come to your zone because everything to do is here. So it's highly suspicious if she says, hey, come by my neighborhood, I want to show you. There's literally no reason for this, there's no justification for it because there's nothing to see in her neighborhood. There's nothing to do there, right? And her apartment, she could send you a photo of it. It's probably not impressive. There's no reason to be there, right? So you just bring them to you, and you could date a girl and have her come to your neighborhood for many, many months. There's literally no reason to ever see her apartment. All right, so I also mentioned no Tinder, no dating apps, right? Because those are where these criminals that are targeting gringos to drug and rob them are exclusively looking, right? If you're a single guy here to meet women, I highly suggest don't use Tinder. If you're gonna use Tinder, be extremely harsh on your filtering on the things I mentioned earlier. What I suggest, it's quite easy to just go out and be very social and flirt with women in your everyday life here in Medellín. There is a plethora, an abundance of gorgeous women here. So there is a lot of really nice malls in Medellín you can go to any day of the week and just walk around and just very simply be direct, say, hey, I saw you, I thought you're cute. I'm Steve, what's your name? I'm here for so-and-so amount of time. Where are you from? Blah, blah, blah. What area are you in? Get to know what neighborhood she's from. And then ask for her WhatsApp or Instagram. This is very normal, very simple, short conversation. You could repeat this conversation multiple times in any mall, and you'll collect a couple of WhatsApps. Like I said, if you're a normal, cool dude. There are literally beautiful women in the supermarket here, in anything that you're going to do. You're going to mail something at a UPS store or something like that. There's just women everywhere. You see them on the metro, you see them on, anywhere that you're walking. So just be very social, meet women like that. And of course you could do things like language exchanges. I say just walk around, be social. Like I said, you should have basic conversational Spanish. Also, I do the travel consultation call. So if you have any questions about more specific details than I got into in this video, you could of course book a call with me, and it'll be my pleasure to discuss this with you and give you my honest, unfiltered advice on the call. Obviously, there's a lot of things I can't get into in this video, and it is my passion to talk about this, so I love doing it. All right, so thanks for watching this video. I hope it was very informative, and I hope that you enjoy Colombia and Medellín as much as possible in a safe, responsible manner. All right, take care.